Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon Podcast. Gig work has gone mainstream, but while millions make a living online, traditional finance systems often still ignore them. Tamara Laine lived it. She started as a freelancer, won Emmy-level awards as a journalist, and now runs MPWR, a fintech startup using AI and behavioral data to open pathways for the underbanked. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you for having me. I loved your introduction.
I'm so glad to finally sit down with you. There's a little bit of behind the scenes info. I was scheduled to talk to you a few weeks ago, and then my little one had an emergency procedure done, and we rescheduled. But it sort of made me think this afternoon how kids are like traditional banks, that they don't always work when you want them to work. And I'm like, you know.
Yes, yeah, you are right. You were right. Well, I mean, banks, how do I put this? I mean, there's a lot of new banks popping up, right? And
Yes.
so maybe we're thinking the institutional banks that were created, the kind of banks that we know and grew up on, were created in the 1950s.
The 8 to 4s or 9 to 5s. I'm talking about the ones where they still want you to come into a branch to do something. Those type of banks.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, so funny. My bank actually called me earlier and was like, come in and say hi. And I was like, for what? What?
Cool. Where can I send my invoice? Because this sounds like business to me.
Yeah. Obviously, banks are really, we're in a fantastic moment. This is what I truly believe. We are in such a great moment of innovation for the financial sector. Okay. And you've got a lot of people innovating right now. And I've had so many conversations with big banks. They are looking at how can they innovate. Now, the thing with big banks versus like the new banks is big banks are like battleships, right? It's really hard to turn them. But that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of people inside the system that are seeing exactly what we're seeing and saying, we need to change this. We need to kind of catch up with the new economy that's booming, right? Yes. The new economy, Gen Z, gig workers, they don't bank like we used to. They don't take loans like people used to. So this is a pivotal moment that's shifting, and there's a lot of innovation happening. I love to be a part of it.
What is a gig worker? What is the sort of definition of a gig worker for those that might not be familiar with the term?
So there's a lot of different definitions, but here's how I categorize it. Cool. I say it's anybody who doesn't make a traditional like W-2 or paycheck from one organization. Okay. Right? Now, gig workers are usually people who have, 2 to 5 jobs. They work, remotely, or they work seasonally. There's a lot of flexibility in their work. There's a lot of income fluctuation. Yeah. And so, and none of that is bad. It just means that we need to look at it differently.
Yeah, because it's not like I say to people, it's not our parents or our parents' lives anymore, where you go to college or university or whatever, you get a degree, you get a job, and then you get married, have kids, and you pay for everything on one salary. It's just like, and it's everything is, and that ship has sailed. And it's never coming back. So everyone is de facto that if you have a side hustle or you make extra income, you're a gig worker. If you want to acknowledge it or not, then you are part of this. And so this is why I wanted to talk to you, because you wrote the other day that they face different challenges because traditional banks are not catering to them because they might see them as risky because, like you said, the money, sometimes the money is there, sometimes the money isn't, or it's not, or it's irregular. That's like, oh, where's this money coming from? So talk to me a bit about those challenges that gig workers might face and how you sort of see it being addressed.
Yeah, I mean, so the challenges you're pointing out some of them. The
Mm,
challenges is, you've got maybe income inconsistency, and this could be seasonally, this can be, weekly, that there's days that are better. The gig economy, like I said, it's really vast, right? You've got
yeah.
what you would think of as you've got caregiver economy, you've got kind of
Yes.
what people traditionally think is gig workers, which are maybe like Lyft drivers. You have fractional C-suite executives,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Freelancers. You've got the creator economy in here, right? And even
Yeah.
some kind of put like the startup sector in there. It's because it's just so different in
Hmm.
how their income is than the traditional. So, like, one, this is a very wide group of people. So, what are the challenges? Well, I mean, I've talked to massage therapists who are making a killing and they can't get a home loan, right? It's there's so much in it where you just there's different ways now with AI and with the
Yes.
data that we can pull. There's so many great ways that we can pull together kind of what you call creditworthiness, and the
Okay.
ability to have flexibility with paying things back, that just works better for, I call it, the new economy.
Okay. So how, before we talk about that, I'm keen to find out a bit about your background and how you went from journalism into fintech. Was it sort of something that you were interested in, or was it about writing? Because I know the one thing about if you write a lot, you do a lot of research and maybe you spot an opportunity. So what was it for you? How did that shift come about?
Yeah, well, I will say so journalism really set me up to be a startup founder, right?
Mm,
My what I say about journalism is it was find a problem, as an
yes.
investigative journalist, find a
Yes.
problem and then talk about the solution. As a startup founder, you find the problem and then you design the solution, right? And
Okay.
then you put it
Okay.
out to the population.
Yes.
And so, what really led me to fintech, it wasn't linear.
Okay.
I was After I left the news, I was advising startups. I was, working in startups. I was part of a startup we launched and scaled, and I left that. But the whole time I had been working in financial fluency. And so I had been talking with especially female founders and
Okay.
women about finance, right? And trying to kind of elevate the understanding of how we can really harness the power of our own finances to thrive.
Okay.
Um, and so as I was doing that, I was talking with a lot of founders, a lot of gig workers and banks, and really started to see this intersection. And this is where you go, you find the problem.
Yes.
Started to see the intersection of how hard it was, especially for female founders, to get access to credit and capital, and banks trying to understand how to lend to female founders.
Why?
Um, because the income is inconsistent,
But why
um, you know,
females?
thin thin filed.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, that's the grand question. You're asking the
Yeah.
question that I ask myself every day. I mean, we're talking statistic. I'll just throw out statistics, right? And
Yes.
I've got them for
Sure.
the US. In the US, 2% of female-founded companies get venture capital. Um,
Oh, hold
two-
up.
yeah.
Hold up.
And so that's not the
Hold up.
banking. I'm just trying to put some statistics
Two
out there as to like
percent.
what is the grand.
Two
Yeah,
percent.
it fluctuates. It
Okay.
can, some years it's been like up to 4%, but yeah, around the 2 to 4%. Um,
And compared to males, do you know that figure?
well, I mean, that's the other chunk. So yes, that's why I said,
Okay.
like, that's the question. You're
Okay.
asking the question
Yeah.
that I don't have an answer to, other
Okay.
than,
To give the
the
stats.
way, yeah, that,
Yeah.
and And what we want to do is we want to increase the odds, right? And we can do
Okay.
that through data. I mean, the other statistic that I love is that female-founded companies tend to outperform when it comes to revenue and growth.
Interesting.
So what we have to do is we have to find, bridge that gap there and
Yes.
and bring those numbers to make more sense and realign. But the problem is still out there. How do we get, level the playing field for everyone?
Yes.
And again, that's that's where I think technology and AI and the ability to sort through all this information and create holistic pictures of people really comes into play. And this is where I got passionate about, right? Like this is
Okay.
the underlying thing for me of there's the problem, how do we solve it? And I believe that we can through technology.
Okay. So talk to me a bit about MPWR and what
MP,
exact. Come again?
oh, I was gonna say, so Empower. I'm one of those people that dropped all the vowels.
And here I am trying to be polite, but let's go. Yeah, let's go empower. I love it. Um, what exactly? What is it for those again that might not be aware or might not know about the company? What is it that the company does? And sort of just shortly overhead, give me an idea if I bump into you in an elevator and said, "Oh, cool, Empower. What's that?"
Yeah, so what we've done is we're the agentic ecosystem for lenders to create products and services for the gig economy and thin filed borrowers. And so, really, what that is
Okay.
we have the technology to sort through a whole bunch of complex financial information, kind of connect the pipes of information, and our
Yes.
AI creates models that banks can use in order to lend to the new economy.
Okay.
Um, and our agents help the lenders, they help the borrowers through the whole process. So we make it a holistic circle, right? We help the lenders understand the borrowers, and then we help the borrowers understand the finance in order to pay it back.
Okay. That's interesting. How did you get like did you have history in AI or coding, or did you have to go and find people? How did that work? Because it's one thing having an idea, but then the execution sort of is on the other side. You have to
Oh
connect the
yeah,
two.
no.
How did that come about?
I am not the technical co-founder. So I am the I have a brilliant CTO and co-founder, and she is bringing the vision all together.
Okay.
She's created technology for financial institutions, and really is, I say, a savant when it comes to creating AI
Yes.
and a new agentic system, which we've got a patent pending on. And so I thought of this idea and I said, this is what I want to build. And I started interviewing co-founders, and I
Okay.
found a co-founder who actually told me no in the beginning.
Yes.
And what I liked about it was she said no because it's really complicated. And I said,
Yes.
that's why you need to be my co-founder, because you understand how complicated this is.
Yes.
And so I wore her down, and now we're almost done building it.
Okay, so how did you find her? Because I talk to a lot of founders, and that's one of the hardest things is finding a co-founder. Because finding a co-founder, it's if you're not in startup, it's hard to explain to people. But what I say, it's like finding a husband or a wife or
It
partner,
is.
because you have to trust that person as far as you can trust your partner, and you have to know them, their ins and outs, their moods, they're all. And if you have the wrong co-founder, I don't care what's your business model or what moat you have or what finances you raise, it will fail. If you don't have the right co-founder, it will fail. So how did you find? You said you reached out. Like how? How did you? What did you do?
Well, I mean, you're right. So there's like three reasons that a startup fails, right?
Hmm.
It's no product market fit,
Yes.
lack of funding, co-founder disruption, right? Disputes.
Yep.
So that's it. I found my co-founder. So I had great advice. Someone told me to go on the Y Combinator co-founder site,
Okay.
co-founder match, where it's basically like tries to match ideas with technical co-founders, right?
That's
And
cool.
I talked to probably 40 or 50 different people. Basically did the dating
Wow.
thing on there, right?
Yeah, but
Uh,
you speed dating. It's that's
speed dating.
exactly, yeah.
And I was talking to a whole bunch of people, and one of the things that I liked, I talked to a bunch of people that were like, "This is a great idea. Let's build it. We can build it in a few weeks and get people on." And I was like, I knew that wasn't the right fit for me because I knew this was more complicated. And one of the things I've been thinking a lot about, and I actually just wrote about this on LinkedIn, is how do you have a
Yes.
moat? And
Yes.
especially in the age of vibe coding and
Yes.
so
And
like
easy duplicatable stuff, yeah.
how do you create your moat? And so I didn't want to create something in just a few weeks. And even though
Okay.
there's a good time and a place for that, right?
Yes, 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 yes,
Um,
yes.
I was like, no, I want some proprietary technology that like is really hard
To
and
replicate.
so that's what happened when I came across my co-founder. And when she said this is very difficult, like, no, I was like, fantastic.
Yeah.
You're the person for the job. And we hit it off and we, talked a lot. And yeah, I mean, it is though. It's like you're spending a lot of time with this person. You're trying to build something, and so you're communicating, and it's co-founding a company is a an endeavor and a very, very intense relationship.
Yes. What's been the hardest this far? What's been sort of the hardest thing for you building Empower?
One of the things I'm really struggling with right now, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
certain that a lot of other founders deal with this. So, as I am raising and also doing customer acquisition and all the stuff that comes with being the CEO,
Mm.
I am finding that I have zero time on my calendar. Um,
And you gave
and I
time
know
to
this,
me. How awesome is
yeah,
that? Oh
but
man.
like what's weird, it's all conversations, right?
Yeah,
It's
don't bull
very
me.
relational. And my work time is very limited.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm trying to figure out is how do you juggle
Mm.
the relationships and the work time. And although that sounds trivial,
Yes,
it
very
hasn't
real.
been to this point. It is I have my calendar out there and I send it out and I'll look at it, at the end of the week for next week to like really plot it out. And I'm like, how do I have every day 7 hours of meetings? It's amazing. And then you're working at night. And I mean, these are all
Yeah,
founder.
yes, yes,
it-
yes. But at some point in time, you will delegate. I mean, you're raising, you're
yeah.
going through that, and at some point, I've talked to enough founders to know that at some point, every founder goes through that. But then you sort of start to let go, and it becomes easier. So just stick
Yeah,
with
like
it.
I'm onboarding a virtual assistant right
There we
now.
go.
But like the conversations, they're things that I have to do.
Yes,
The technical build out, and getting on those meetings about our technology, those are things that I have to do. So right now,
yes,
that's where I'm saying like the hard part is there's
yes.
not much delegation to happen. No one else can come on this podcast, right?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't have anyone. All right. I'm
No.
not gonna tomorrow before I let you go, that Emmy is how many Emmys? There's two Emmys behind you.
One.
One.
Oh, behind one is a Telly, a People's Choice Award, Telly, and then an Emmy.
Okay. For what? For what was it?
Um, the Emmy was for an expose that I did on ethical AI, and
Yes.
then the Kelly Award was for a series I did on human trafficking.
Wow. Hard-hitting stuff. Um,
But not, it wasn't light, I'll tell you that much.
No, no, I can believe you. Speaking on the ethical AI, where do you think we are with that at the moment? Because when I open up my Twitter account, I'm still not going to call it X. Elon and Sam are fighting every day, tooth and nail. They're like two tech bros that just can't get along. And it seems like that's where the most of the fight is, but it might just be sort of in the, you know what I mean, on the social networks that is not really what's going on behind the scenes. But where is ethical AI at the moment? Are we just scrubbing everything and stealing people's data, or what's going on?
I mean, I think we're in the frenzy of excitement mode, right? Um,
Yeah, I hear
it
you.
is it is
Yeah.
so exciting that we're moving really fast. Um,
It's like, oh,
and
I love you. Let's move in together. Yes, let's get a
I
dog. It's sort of
yeah,
that. That's where we
exactly.
are. We just got a dog.
We're in the shiny carrot right now, just like, oh, give me another like sparkly, it's bright, it's um so and and anybody is able to create right now, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the platforms.
Hmm.
So I would say the foundations of ethical AI are probably not forefront.
Okay.
And then in the US, and like there's the policies are all over the place, right? Like there's no global policy, and there will never be a global policy because that is not the way that, anything works. But in the US, like I know that there was talk about, different states having regulations, and that's been really squashed. So
Yeah.
we're in a place right now that's like there's there are a lot of changes that will happen, a lot of regulations that will come out. So any like founder is
Uh-huh.
going to need to be following. But
Yes.
overall, I would say ethical AI is up to the founder.
It's the
And so
wild, wild west.
well, I was going to say that, but I
Ah,
really think
sorry. I was sitting on it for a while. I was sort of
founders
sitting on it. It's a wild, wild west. And now thinking of that movie, Will Smith. Wild, wild west. Okay, before we get a YouTube copyright strike, Tamara, thank you so much for joining me today. If the listeners want to go and check out Empower and connect with you and find out more about what it is that you guys do, where can they connect with you?
find me on LinkedIn at Tamara Laine, and then you can also sign up for our newsletter on the empower.money website.
Cool. I'll put all the links in the comments. And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. And we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
You walk right through me like most. I'm here, but you don't even know. I'm shouting loud. keep standing. You keep